I'm gonna wrap up this year with two weird products that I'm betting you haven't seen yet. First, we have the Teeth of Dahlvar-Nar bite-sized artifact. This is a bag full of teeth, but it functions a bit like the Deck of Many Things. It's a magical item from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. You reach your hand into the bag and you pull out a tooth, and then you have some very important choices to make. It's a very powerful magical artifact, but it's not as campaign breaking as something like the Deck of Many Things. So if you're looking for an interesting way to spice up your 5e campaign and you aren't too freaked out by teeth, like I kind of am, then this might just be the thing you're looking for. So with thanks to Wizards of the Coast and WizKids for sending it my way, let's dig into the Teeth of Dahlvar-Nar. Enhance and improve your 5e games today with Hit Point Press. Explore the cute but deceptively deep campaign setting of Humblewood, where a new threat imperils the peace between the humble folk and the bird folk. Or enhance your 5e games with animated spell, condition, and townsfolk cards. Add a slew of creative and gorgeously illustrated magical items with the Griffin Saddlebag, and face down more than 30 innovative 5e villains with their big book of big bads. Learn more today at Hit Point Press by using our link in the corner or down below. The box comes with 20 teeth of various sizes, a faux leather pouch, and a d20 for kicks. The origin story of Dahlvar-Nar is a bit scattered, but we know that he was a human cleric who somehow collected, or perhaps found, a bag of powerfully enchanted teeth, each of which comes from a different type of creature. When your party finds the item, someone will need to attune to it. Then to use it, they spend an action to draw a random tooth out of the bag. In most games, that means they'll be rolling a d20, but since you have the actual item, then they can physically pull the tooth out of the bag. The box comes with a little paper insert to help you determine which tooth is which, so hold on to that. But then comes the choice. With the tooth in hand, they can either sew the tooth into the ground or the water near them to summon a certain type of creature for 10 minutes, a creature which will be an ally to you and speak your language, or you can implant the tooth into your own mouth, which will replace one of your own teeth, giving you a permanent ability. You can have a maximum number of teeth implanted at one time equal to 1 plus your constitution modifier with a minimum of 2. If you implant more than that, it'll randomly replace one of your other implanted teeth. But you have to choose one of those options, or at the end of your turn, it'll sew itself into the ground, summoning a creature that will be hostile to you, or it'll implant itself into your mouth. Each tooth can only be used one time. And each tooth is associated with a story. Unfortunately, we only get the name of each story in the book. A couple of examples. The rainbow donkey's tooth is linked to a story called The Donkey's Dream. It can summon a unicorn, or if you implant it, you can gain an ability to heal and cure all the diseases and poisons on a creature up to 3 times a day. But you gain this flaw. When I see wickedness in action, I must oppose it. The Beholder Tooth summons a Beholder, or lets you cast the Eye Bite spell once a day. The Tarrasque Tooth summons a Bloody Tarrasque, though it does have special rules. You don't get a Tarrasque ally for 10 minutes, that would break campaigns. If you implant it, you deal double damage to objects and structures, and if you take 20 or more damage in a single round, you might spin off into a murderous rage. The Pit Fiend Tooth summons a Pit Fiend, or when implanted, you can cast Dominate Monster once a day, but you smell strongly of burning sulfur. Each implant usually has a benefit and a relatively minor drawback. You can look up the magical item to see all the details of the other teeth, but I think it's certainly a fun and memorable magical item if you want to add it into your campaign. The teeth themselves are pretty good quality, I would say. The larger teeth are heavier than I expected. Almost all the teeth look good. The rainbow tooth and the emerald lizardfoot fang are translucent and feel a little bit plasticky in my hands, but the rest feel pretty great. The halfling canine is really tiny though, so be careful not to lose it. And don't lose a little paper insert either. I wish it was printed on cardstock or something so it would hold up a little bit better, because you're gonna need it to tell which tooth is which. And the faux leather pouch is fine. It has a nice soft interior, though the item description in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything says that the pouch is stitched with images of heroes and whimsical creatures, so we kind of missed out there. Finally, the D20, I just don't care for. It looks okay, I guess, like it might be made from enamel, but it commits the cardinal sin of being nearly impossible to read on the table. It needed some white ink for those numbers. But ultimately, I love stuff like this. When you have fun magic items like the Deck of Many Things and the Deck of Illusions, even the Taroka deck from Curse of Strahd, and you have an actual physical deck of cards at your table for players to draw from, it heightens that experience for your group. One thing I used to talk about all the time is that you should try to target all the senses of your players when you can. That means moody music, maybe sound effects, scented candles to evoke certain locations, appropriate lighting at your table, and for the sense of touch, you got your minis, you got your terrain, and you got things like this. When you layer all those sensory sensations on top of your storytelling, it makes moments at your table even more memorable. The Teeth of Dahlvar-Nar is available now for between $70 and $80, which is pretty expensive. Since this is something that the entire group can enjoy, I'd recommend getting your players to pool some funds together for it. With 4 players and a game master, that would come out to be about $15 a player, which is not too bad. I'm also an advocate of players contributing funds towards campaigns that they're enjoying, as game masters often get burdened with all those expenses. But let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below, and stay tuned here for the other strange item that's been sitting on my review shelf for far too long. Also, Hit Point Press has bundle deals for the holidays that you should check out before they go away. You can get big discounts on Humblewood, animated spell cards, the Big Book of Big Bads, Heckna, the Fable Maker's Deck of Many Things, a Field Guide of Floral Dragons, and more. Check them out in the link in the corner or down below to see what's available. I expect those holiday deals to end any day now, so don't miss out. And that's it for me today. For now, please stay safe, have fun, love each other, have a happy new year, and I'll see you in 2026 at the Gallant Goblin.